Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm super excited to be here. Andrea Donnelly, spiritual advisor, Oracle of Enchantment, wealth and ascension activator, your channel for life. So nice to be here with you guys on my November forecast, which is all about letting your freak flag fly. So, if you were joining me live, let me know where you were tuning in from. I got a little bit of a late start because there's a lot of like very loud noise in the construction variety. Going on outside my house, and you guys can't hear it because I have these nifty little earbuds in and my mic, but sometimes that stuff distracts me. So I tuned in a little bit later than anticipated because I wanted to give some time for that to clear up so I didn't distract myself, because this month is really important, right? If you have followed me for a long time, you know that this moment of time that we're moving through, right, is something that I have been I literally was born to be a guide and an usher, essentially, for you and for the world, to incorporate this beautiful new earth energy that we're moving into. Um, so many different ways that we've described this: the shift of the ages, the transition into the golden age, 3D to 5D, these ways that we put human words onto this experience that we're moving through is essentially a way, right, for us to make sense of what's happening as the earth is going through these really big changes. Her vibration has changed. What is possible has changed. We are all going through this massive call to action to remember the truth of who we are. And that's what this month is all about, November. So I'm recording this on Friday, November 10th. Right now it's 1:18 p.m. Eastern, just like a nice little sequence of the 111. And it is 2023, which, if you're listening to it now, you're listening to it in the future, I think we can all concur. Holy cannoli, this year has moved like lightning. And I want to acknowledge something very big, which I think is really important and a big part of what my guides are showing me the truth of this year was and where we're headed. So, to just do a little bit of backtracking, you are alive on Earth right now. You undoubtedly understand what I'm talking about when I say this year has been pretty intense, right? It has felt like I had a client over the summer who beautifully articulated this by saying, it feels like the best and the worst of things that could be unfolding in my life are sort of all moving in concert. And that has kind of been the thing about this year. And the reason the guides have shown me this is because all of the areas in which we, each of us individually, and this is unfolding from a collective perspective too, but if there are places where you were holding on to old patterns that no longer align with you, ancestral inheritances, and carrying on other people's, we'll call it like karma, drama, pain, um, harbor, just essentially like carrying what I like to call that energetic bag of rocks. If your bag of rocks was too heavy, or there were things that needed to be cleared from your field, so that as we round out this year and move into next year, that you would be basically light as a feather, right? That those things needed to clear this year. And I have used this example before, but it's very much the energy of what was once a subtle knock, right? Where the world, maybe, like, if you think about, there are those memes that are like, I just want a signier sign, and we all do it, right? We all sometimes are like, I would like a signier sign. We get the nudge from the universe, what I call like the subtle knock, the beautiful message, the, hey girl, hey buddy, it's time for you to do X, Y, and Z, right? Leave your relationship that no longer resonates with you, leave the job that no longer resonates, perhaps stay at your job because it does resonate, but you feel like you're ready for more responsibility, more impact, more money. And so it's time for you to negotiate a salary increase, right? Perhaps you've been getting the call to learn a new skill. Perhaps you've been being called to activate your spiritual gifts. Whatever the thing is you have been being called to do. And I say the thing, but really, because we are multi-dimensional, really complex, beautiful humans and spiritually gifted dynamos, the thing is often bigger than that, right? It's often either many different things that you're being called to integrate, or maybe a couple big ones that you know, and a few small ones. And here's the thing, we can get really paralyzed in our human bodies because we get the nudge. Oh, go, learn this new skill, or leave your, job that no longer feels dynamic and lights you up, or move across the country, whatever the thing is, right? We all have these things that we are often called to move into in human form. And then we're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm hearing that, I'm feeling that, I'm seeing that, And also from a human perspective, we can fall into a state of what amounts to like fear paralysis, right? Where we let our brains take command of the ship and we start to freak out because we don't understand what and how we would ever do some of the things that I know a lot of you, if you're here with me in this moment, right, we can really talk ourselves out of doing the things that we know we need to do. And I want to really encourage you that whatever you're being nudged to do right now, it is time to make it happen. I've been saying this for a couple of years at this point. We've already seen massive changes unfold, right? Between now and 2020, the world does not look or feel or be the same way that it used to. And we are going to continue to keep seeing more and more and more changes. So my big call to action for you in this moment is to really lean into those messages from your intuition, from your team of guidance, from your divinity, your higher self, whatever words we want to put on it. It's time to really start to move in a way where you integrate those changes. And here's the thing, one of the things that the guides show me, and it's related to what I was just sharing, is that a lot of people talk about how they want to change. They want more money, they want more love, they want to experience more pleasure, they want to experience more joy, freedom, all the things. But simultaneously, they do not want to actually have to do any work or show up for themselves in a way that facilitates that, right? They're and I would say that is perhaps the biggest point from which people do not move forward, because you're out there, you're participating in, let's say, like a manifestation process, you are journaling, you're maybe like making some vision boards, you're doing some things, and then you are failing to take those next embodied action steps. Because the thing is, manifestation and co-creation is both an act of prayer and meditation and intention setting and feeling the feelings and all of those things, and it's also literally an action of human movement in your physical body. We can't just throw out to the world what it is that we want. It's really time to basically put your money where your mouth is, if you are familiar with that saying. We cannot expect things to shift around us if we are not willing to go very deeply into our own experience, acknowledge and allow a release of the things that we have been holding on to that do not work for us anymore. And that beautifully leads into the point of the month, right? Which is what I was talking about. One of my favorite phrases of all time: let your freak flag fly. Really let that sink in. If you saw the movie The Family Stone, you were familiar with that phrase. And it's just beautiful because we all have a freak flag. And I'll be honest, our freak flag is the thing. It is the ultimate thing from which we call in our dreams. So as part of this process of moving in a sense of embodied action, the big call that I am hearing, it's like a like massive cosmic bullhorn, a golden, like the biggest bullhorn you've ever seen, right? And the world is like, it is time to wake up and shake up and really start to move in a way that works for you. Because when I made that list earlier of the things that maybe you're putting off, right? You know, you need to do X, Y, and Z. It feels really uncomfortable, right? And we can be like, oh, maybe that means it's not for me. Maybe because I feel a little nervous. That's like not, there's that idea in the spiritual community of a full bodied yes. That's a beautiful idea. Okay. And I don't want to dismiss that for people like for whom that is true. Some of us do actually experience really powerful full bodied yeses. But myself, for example, in my human design, I'm a 5-1 self projected projector, which means that my authority is literally found in speaking my own truth out loud so that then I essentially reflect and synthesize and process it myself. So for me, the act of uncovering what my truth is not as simple as saying, how does my body feel? Do I do things like muscle testing? Absolutely. I learned how to muscle test over 20 years ago. I think it was in 2001. I still use muscle testing to this day, right? So my body does know the truth, and I know that. But there are other ways where I have used my human journey to essentially make sense of how I process information and what my truth is. And that's part of this big call to action and this idea of letting your freak flag fly, because every person alive has massive spiritual gifts. And one of the biggest things that I am seeing through the duration of this year and moving into 2024 and beyond is that these concepts that I'm calling ascension technologies, right, which are things like light codes. I channel light language, right? You guys, many of you have heard me channel light language. So things like light codes, energy work, right? Breath work, the tools, meditation, things that are really powerful, energetic frequency attunement systems essentially are the things that we as a culture are going to start to move into and really leverage in bigger ways as we move through both this year and into everything that follows. It's all about frequency, baby. And so as part of that, right? The concept of weird from an etymological perspective, and you may have heard me say this a bunch of other times because I can sound a little bit like a broken record, but I have to keep repeating it. This is the thing, is that I have to keep repeating this truth until sorry about that. I have to keep repeating that truth, this like very powerful reality that from an etymological perspective, the word weird literally means destiny in Old German. And I picked up on something about the word weird decades ago because I have always been very different from most people. Heard my journey, you know that from childhood I channeled light language. I have memories of clearly communicating with my guide when I was a baby, age 2, right? So I have not been experiencing the same human journey that many people have. I was born remembering and keeping a level of my connection to God alive that was very different. And it was literally part of my calling and why I'm here with you today, is because I was meant to experience that continued level of awareness while I also navigated this human journey that I've been on. And I realized pretty quickly at some point, either as a child, that people often understood that I was very different from other people. I was called weird during my entire childhood, during my young adulthood. And I was like, what does the word weird actually mean? Because there's something about this. It's like, there's not, this is bigger than whatever people perceive weird to mean, right? Like we sort of imagine weird as like, oh, you're so different, right? You sort of that's like really going against the grain. And like all of that is true. But if you contextualize it in the experience, it's like a term, but it's more like the vibration. And you realize, wow, weird literally translates to mean destiny. What if your destiny, what if the thing calling you home is precisely the thing that feels so uncomfortable? And that is almost always related, in my experience now, having been a spiritual advisor for several years, really helping a lot of incredible people understand what's standing between them and their dreams, is that the things that make us weird are our literal destiny and are often the gifts that we've carried through lifetimes. It is time. It is fully time, with no judgment, with no shame, to the versions of you that were not ready to fully embrace your cosmic magic. But it is truly time to step into an entirely new way of living. And if you are someone who has been in my field, I really encourage you to take some big leaps of beauty and faith and trust. Because here's the thing, as part of this call to action, to start to embody your spiritual gifts in new ways, to start to relate to the world in new ways, to start to really go inward in these bigger ways, these are literally the ticket, the golden ticket, the keys, whatever we want to call it, to ascension, to being able to move in tune with a really abundant flow, no matter what is happening in the world around us. It's why I have started to share more of I'm leading in my work at this point with my light language channeling. So we have reached now the point where I'm going to share a couple of ways that you can like really deep in and anchor into your own experience. If you are someone who has felt excited by my work and you're ready for more, then I'm going to invite you to do a couple of things. One is I have an awesome new way of working with me that I've never done before. I'm so bleeping excited about it. It's called Make It Rain, Light Codes for Prosperity and Abundance. And I'm laughing because it's just going to be so much fun. I got a massive download about it the other day. It came through a couple of weeks ago. I've already downloaded 2 additional sets of codes, which are all related. They're essentially a trifecta for anchoring into the energetics of new earth abundance and prosperity, joy, all the beautiful things. And you can do a bundle of them. We start Make It Rain, which is the first set of codes. It's going to be transmitted by me to you through Voxer, which is a walkie-talkie app. If you're not familiar with it, every day for 30 days, so simple. Literally a pop into Voxer, share some channeled light codes to really help to activate your unique frequency, the codes of divinity that run through you, which are again the ticket to prosperity and abundance. My work is super multidimensional. It works very quickly. It's very beautiful. It's also really fun. I feel like, my guides were, I don't feel like, I know I woke up the other morning with a song in my heart, which is not unusual for me. I love singing. And the song went kind of like this. It went, I am the oracle of enchantment, helping you make wealth the whimsical way. Right? How beautiful is that? Helping you make wealth the whimsical way. And there was more to it than that, but that's just the snippet that I'll sort of share in my silky smooth jazz voice over here. Anyway, we start Make It Rain next Wednesday, 11:15. There's a chance to do a diamond upgrade where you can add in a private call with me and bundle in those next set of codes as well. Or you can just do Make It Rain as a standalone. And again, it's so simple and easy. Literally for 30 days, I'm going to pop into your Voxer, send a transmission, which is light codes. You can listen to it whenever you want to. You can listen to them, multiple times every day, however you want to use it. And they will really help you, because what I see over and over again in my work with incredible high achieving visionaries, people with like massive, brilliant, cool, fun, dynamic things that they were born to do in the world, is that I channel people's light codes for them, right? A couple of weeks ago, I channeled someone's bespoke, beautiful, personalized wealth codes. And that week they called in $90,000 in new sales. a few months ago, I channeled someone's, again, personalized wealth light codes, and they had their highest week in business to the tune of $30,000. And this is the kind of stuff that happens, right? And this is what I mean by leveraging Ascension Technologies to help you. These brilliant clients of mine move at the speed of light and miracles. And I know a lot of us get real gummed up. We're like, oh, I really want to work with that Andrea Donnelly, but her stuff feels like sort of wacky. And I'm just going to wait until I've like saved up more or have more money. And listen, I get that it's not in everyone's capacity to be able to invest at a high level. And I am someone who has always moved from the point that I want to be as opposed to the point that I am. Now, has that always been necessarily easy? Not exactly. I've certainly had to like juggle things from a personal perspective at times in my life, but it has landed me here with you as someone who started their business 3 years ago and was disabled by chronic nerve pain at the time. I have healed my body. I have healed my relationship to prosperity and abundance. And there's this way where I am is a direct reflection of my capacity to trust the nudges that I receive from the universe. And it shows. And if you are not showing up for yourself, whether it's, you know, a nudge that you're getting to join me and make it rain, or whether you've been considering, you know, booking another session with me, jumping into my amazing group Cosmic Alchemy Academy, this is the last time I'm teaching it live. We're in the last final 2 months of it. We wrap up in December. Or you're someone who's been considering working with me privately. I just really encourage you to lean into it, find a way, make it happen. And just there's a way where we're so deeply told by the collective noise that runs through every system on this planet that investing in yourself, that showing up for yourself, that cultivating your spiritual gifts, that like working in this like realm essentially of magic and light is total wackery, and that it's not real. But when you look at those same systems, they actually leverage magic, which is themselves, right? When you think about things like going into churches around the world, they are speaking incantation through the form of prayer. They are using things like incense and sound to be able to call things in. And yet we're told then that those things are like not real, even though the systems of power actually leverage very high level magic to be able to facilitate their own success. So I will leave you with this. If you're excited and ready and you want to jump into my world, you are welcome to send me a DM. I'm going to pop the link to be able to sign up for Make It Rain in the comments. Like I said, Cosmic Alchemy Academy runs through December, and I would just jump into all these things now. I also have space for 3 people to do Illuminate Your Sacred Light, which is private mentorship to activate your light channel. And this is the biggest, most exciting thing, is that my light language certification program, which has been a long time coming, is kicking off in February. It's going to be an 8-month journey. It's in pre-sale right now. And I'm just so excited. If you want to chat with me more about that, it's going to be like nothing that I've ever offered, and frankly, nothing else available anywhere. It's going to really activate your sacred channel. And again, this is wisdom that you will be able to use to facilitate your own up-leveling, calling in your dreams. If you are a coach, a healer, an entrepreneur, a visionary, an artist, I often work with artists. A lot of my clients are visual artists and writers. And there is a way where, right, when you were a creative person, anchoring into this level of clarity and divine support that I provide for people really changes things, and your practice just amplifies in totally beautiful ways. So I'm super excited about the light language certification program. If you are interested in that, go ahead and shoot me a message. You can email my team, Andrea at weareheretoremember.com. You can go to my website, weareheretoremember.com, and submit a request for more information or to apply for that. And I'm just really, really, really excited about all of this. So, you guys, let's do this. Let's just rise to meet ourselves in the most beautiful bleeping vibration that we possibly can and literally change the world from the inside out. Let's do it. It's time. This planet is an absolute jewel. She has been so patient with us, and it is time for each of us to rise into a renewed, beautiful sense of stewardship with our own sacred heart, with our families, with our communities, with the plants and the animals and the earth herself and all of our cosmic family. It is time to stand correct, an open heart, and let money, magic, and miracles rain down for you and for this planet. It's time for something better. And if you are here with me, then you know that, and you are part of this journey of moving into the golden age. And I love you so much. And I will talk to you soon, my sweethearts. Let me know how this lands, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.